What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Racy Podcast. This is your host, Cristopher Zamora. Welcome to the show. So today, guys, I want to speak to you about the movie Long Walk. I gotta say, man, this movie was entertaining as hell. One of the best movies I've seen so far this year in 2025. It really is that good, man. Just the premise alone, just making young men walk and then just shooting them. Who would have thought, man? Who would have thought that this simple premise was going to make a good movie? Well, first, it started with a book, and it was created by the horror king himself, Stephen King. Yeah, Stephen King was the man who created the book for this story, and I gotta say, man, it was awesome. It was an awesome movie. I was entertained the whole time, and wow, man, what an enjoyable movie to watch. I went to go see it with my brother, and yeah, dude, this is a must-watch movie if you are a horror fan. Damn, man, this movie almost had me in tears. Well, I almost cried, to be honest, in one scene. It just started with this young man, right? He was going off to go and be a part of this long walk journey. He got a letter in the beginning. Like the first words that you see is just a letter of acceptance to the long walk that he has to do. Man, dude, what a great movie. Garrity, that's his last name. And dude, it was so sad just seeing these kids go one by one. They had to keep going, and every single 3 hours or so, yeah, I believe 3 hours, they had three warnings. And if they passed the third warning, then they would have died. That was the thing. The reason why they were going on this long walk journey, it was because if they won, if they were the last one to win, then they were going to get riches. They're going to get anything they ever wanted. It could be money, it could be a house, a weapon. Yeah, man. What a crazy ass movie, but it was such an entertaining film. The whole time we stay with these characters, and the whole time they were just walking and just talking to each other, just keeping company, walking and walking. And they spent about over 300 miles walking. And it seemed like the clothes that they were wearing, it seems like it was like a time period where it was like the 60s or 70s, you know? Almost like that universe where it takes place. I wouldn't even be surprised if it actually takes place in the same universe because, you know, Stephen King was the man who created the It franchise. He created the books, and then there were directors who came to him and wanted to make this as a TV show first. And then in 2017, they made a remake of that. But The Long Walk is important because it is like one of his first books that he has written. Damn, man, what a simple premise, but yet a very effective one. Such a cool storyline, man. They all had their own stories that they shared with one another, and it was just sad seeing them go one by one, man. Like, wow, if them kids would have been best friends outside the long walk, damn, man, they all became friends. To be honest, none of them, they were really bad children. They were just doing their best, just trying to get by, trying to go and win this for their families or even for themselves. Just these characters alone and the dialogue, it makes you really care about these kids and you really wanted them to live. But you know the rules. The rules are only one can survive, and they had to keep moving no matter what. Even the death scenes, man, they were a bit brutal. The first one you saw, it was a 18-year-old kid. They really shot him right in the face, and then you just saw like his teeth hanging. Wow, man. It was brutal, man. Brutal film. Such a crazy film, but it was very enjoyable. Definitely one of my favorite ones, to be honest. And it was sad in a way. I haven't ever actually read the book for The Long Walk, but I saw comments stating that they actually changed the ending in the movie than how it was in the book. Not really sure how it is, but maybe one day if I read the book, I'll understand it. Or you can just list it down in the comments if you want to. But then it will spoil it for some people who haven't read the book. But it's up to you though. It's up to you if you really want to put it down in the comments down below. But yeah, man, The Long Walk was a very entertaining film. Sad in a way, but yet a very effective film. Stephen King, man, he has made lots of books, and a lot of books of his have been created as movies. His most popular one, it's got to be It Part 1 and Part 2. There's also Carrie as well. The Shining, I think I heard that Stephen King mentioned that The Shining really wasn't his favorite film because Stanley Kubrick actually made it a bit different than how it was in the book. And that's why he did not really enjoy that film. But lots of people who have never actually read the book or have read the book actually enjoyed the movie even more than the book itself. And has gotten a lot of attraction since the 80s. I think it did come out in 1980, that film. And it's still talked about today, that movie. Like, it is like one of the biggest, movies in horror, The Shining. And yeah, man, Stephen King knows how to write books, and just him alone, man. He has created lots of IPs, lots of great books, and have been created to movies. It's awesome, man. That's awesome to see. A writer, just out of nowhere, man. He just came out, just wrote a story. It was liked by people all around the world. And then they came to him and told him, hey, want us to make a movie out of this book? And there you go. That's how it all happened. Just like that, man. It's pretty cool how things just turned out for him. And yeah, man. The Long Walk. One hell of a movie. But like the dialogue, I did understood some parts. But the thing is, it was like the accents. They were a bit hard to listen. I don't know why. It's just probably me. Like, their accents was a bit hard to actually listen to. I wish there were subtitles in my screening, but there really wasn't. So I really had to pay attention to what they were saying. I did miss some dialogue. When I rewatch it again, I would watch it with subtitles so I can catch some things. But I got most of it though. I got most of the dialogue and understood it. Yeah, man. But what a crazy movie. I did enjoy it, and I do definitely put it as one of my top 3. One of my top 3 favorite movies so far. The Long Walk, man. What a crazy ass movie. And I do believe if you are a horror fan or do like Stephen King's books, man, this is a movie that you need to go see in the movie theaters, man. That is a great film. And I do give this movie a 9 out of 10. I won't give it a 10 out of 10 because, like I said, I probably just missed some dialogue. And yeah, that was just about it. This movie wasn't slow at all. It keeps you entertained the whole time. It keeps you hooked. It was a good movie, man. 9 out of 10. And now the other thing I want to speak to you about is about Scary Movie 6. Scary Movie 6 is going to come out next year in the year 2026, man. It's been so long since we have gotten a scary movie film. If you have never seen these films, these are basically parody movies all stacked up into one. They make fun of horror movies that were popular at the time. Like, for Scary Movie, the main movie they made fun of was Scream, and also I Know What You Did Last Summer. I did not know that at all because I have seen Scary Movie first before actually watching Scream, and also I Know What You Did Last Summer. I was never really introduced into those movies before actually watching Scary Movie. That's how my intro was for Ghostface, to be honest. Scary Movie was the very first film that introduced me to Ghostface. It wasn't the movie Scream itself. Yeah, I was born in the late 90s, so I did not watch Scream at the time until later on, when I was like maybe 14 or 15 years old. Yeah, I was one of those kids. Early Gen's year. But what I really want to talk about Scream 6 is that Marlon Wayans, his character of Shorty, he's going to make a comeback, he said. And also, he did mention some films that they were going to try to spoof. These aren't really confirmed films, but they have mentioned that they want to make fun of these movies, these horror movies. And I'm just going to list some that he did mention in an interview. So, like, these are the films that he has mentioned that he wants to spoof in the Scary Movie 6 movie. It is Sinners, the movie Get Out, Nope, Long Legs, Heretic, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. For I Know What You Did Last Summer, I'm guessing it's the one that came out this year. I already seen the film. I gotta say it was okay. But Sinners, Long Legs, and Get Out, those movies. Yeah, it seems like it probably might be a good idea. To be honest, Sinners, in my opinion, it wasn't my favorite horror film, but it got lots of attraction around the world, and lots of people like this film, Sinners. So that's cool. Get Out is the oldest one in this list. It did came out back in 2017. Long Legs. And they remember that one probably might have been under the radar, but they got a good amount of showing of people that actually went to go see this film. It was a very unique film, but it wasn't for everybody. It wasn't that mainstream, like how Sinners was or Get Out. The movie Nope, that was my least favorite one from Jordan Peele's films that he has created. He has created 3. He created the movie Get Out, which was his very first movie back in, I believe it was 2017 or 2018. The movie Us, and the third film, Nope. Us, I believe, was my favorite film of his that he has created so far. So, 2 films of his are being spoofed, hopefully. And that's cool. Heretic. Out of all of them, this is the only film that I haven't seen. This is the only film that was mentioned that I have not seen from this list. I never heard of that name. Heretic, I never seen it, but I have seen it like scrolling down like on HBO Max, but I never really gotten the chance to actually see it. But probably I might actually watch it now because I want to see how they will going to make a parody of this movie. But yeah, those are all the movies that he has mentioned that he wants to make a parody of. They're not really confirmed, but there are films that they might plan on actually making a parody of. Yeah, man. Let's see how that movie turns out, man. Hopefully it turns out pretty good. And yeah, guys, that is it for this podcast. Hey, thank you so much for listening. If you guys did enjoy this podcast, make sure to follow it on whichever platform you are listening to it. If you are listening to it on Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, make sure to follow it. And also recommend this podcast to a friend or a neighbor that actually likes listening to stuff about horror stuff and pop culture things. Maybe they will enjoy this podcast as much as you do. And yeah, guys, that is it. Take care and live to the fullest. Bye.